The CNC multi-curve system, the latest in contact lens manufacturing technology from City Crown. After many years developing the contact lens lathe, City Crown are uniquely attuned to the needs of this fast-growing branch of the optics industry. Here at Aylesbury, research and development into new products is an important aspect of City Crown philosophy, providing machines and systems in advance of future needs. Lens designers have long desired thinner, better fitting, more comfortable lenses with improved optics, but thus far lacked the means of production. With this criterion in mind, the City Crown system has been developed. It produces ultra-thin lenses with multi-curved base and front surfaces, both with outstanding surface finishes and optics. In order to reliably maintain these standards day after day, the CNC machine is by necessity built to the highest level of precision. Extreme accuracy of components is assured, from machining, fitting, through to final assembly, a demanding challenge to the outstanding skills of City Crown's team of highly experienced technicians. Rigorous quality checks at all stages of manufacture ensure continuing accuracy over a long service life. Put into perspective, the surface finish of a typical lens produced by the multi-curve system is better than 2 micro-inches on hard lens material. To sustain this remarkable finish, the repeatable positioning of the headstock and top slide to a given point must be achieved precisely and consistently. High standards are a way of life to City Crown. The multi-curve system consists of 3 specialized machines: the multi-base curve lathe, the multi-front curve lathe, and the multi-universal lathe. The multi-curve machining system is computer numerically controlled, producing such a superlative surface finish that subsequent lens polishing is reduced to an absolute minimum. For example, polishing only takes 20 seconds on hard and gas-permeable materials and frequently less than 60 seconds on soft material. The lens is created by a series of roughing cuts, removing the bulk of the excess material, succeeded by a number of finishing cuts to produce each radius in turn. It takes an average of 45 seconds to cut the base curve and a similar time to complete the front surface, depending on the material cutting characteristics and the number of curves. To show how easy it is to operate the multi-curve system, we'll demonstrate the setting and operating process in producing a typical multi-curved contact lens. The multi-base curve lathe is switched on and the lens prescription information keyed into the computer by the operator in a question and answer routine via an easy-to-view display. This information entry sequence depends on the customized computer program, but usually consists of the following: the number of curves required to be cut, the dimension of the optical radius, the sizes of the carrier radii, and the overall diameter of the lens. Other information to be keyed in includes the number of lenses to be produced at this prescription and the number of coarse and fine cuts to be taken during the lens cutting operation. The edge radiusing part of the program requires information as to the dimension of the edge radius to be cut. The computer loads the data that has been keyed in, then indicates that the lathe is ready to commence cutting. The operator presses the cycle button to start the automatic process. The spindle starts and the top slide positions itself to enable the first diametering cut to take place, and then the second, which may be programmed as a finishing cut. Diametering from the top slide is an advantageous option, particularly when producing on a prescription basis, as each lens may require a different final diameter. The top slide retracts and repositions to allow the first radius to be cut. The headstock then moves forward to the first rough cut position, and machining starts and continues until all roughing and finishing cuts are completed. The top slide then returns to its datum position. The edge radius attachment slide positions forward and begins to cut the edge radius. On completion of this cut, the slide returns to its datum position. The headstock then retracts and the spindle stops. The automatic unloading device moves into position. The collet opens and the base curve is placed into the unloading arm. A new blank is loaded directly into the collet to repeat the process. Meanwhile, the base curve is inspected, measured and mounted on a holder before loading into the collet of the City Crown multi-front curve lathe. The front curve machine computer setup is similar to the multi-base curve lathe, with certain differences in loading and unloading of lens blanks. A probe sensor unit is provided to accurately position the cutting tool. This particular multi-front curve machine is fitted with a friction-free air-bearing spindle, which gives vibration-less operation at all spindle speeds, producing even better surface finishes. With all the City Crown system lathes, there is a choice of air-bearing or conventional spindles. Keying in the computer is identical to the base curve model. The lens prescription data entered by the operator is checked on the display, section by section, before the automatic setting of the machine takes place. We can now see the cutting operation in progress. The probe advances as the headstock moves forward until it touches the lens blank. The pneumatically operated probe indicates to the computer the exact position of the front surface of the blank. The top slide then moves to position for the first front surface rough cut to be taken. The spindle speed and radius slide feed rates are computer controlled, and the cutting tool is programmed to perform a succession of roughing and fine cuts whilst the multi-curved surface is formed. The headstock moves back at the completion of the cutting operation